Yes, let me just watch a guy talk about Geometry Dash and OSU in Minecraft. Such diversity. But let me captivate your attention, alright? Since the argument here is not what you think. It's probably what you think. I'm actually not that smart at all. Minecraft player. What does he know about this? What does he know about any of these games? Well, there's only one thing I need to know. This whole argument is based on which is harder. OSU, Geometry Dash, Friday Night Funkin', I guess. Which is harder? Which, to be honest, that's a bad argument. You could argue with the fact that, oh, in Geometry Dash, you only have to click. In OSU, you actually have to move your arm. And you could then say, like, oh, but the timings and things in Geometry Dash are much more complex than clicking. You have to hold, you have to alternate, you have to do this and that, and that's actually way harder. No, you see, the important thing about both of these is that in both of them players can make their own levels. That's the important thing. And you see, when a game is based on precision and well, the player can create the precision, there's not gonna be a limit to what they can do. That's like saying which scale is larger, binary or decimal. Well, the problem is both of them go to infinity. It's not like they end. You can't say, oh, like this one's larger because no, you can't, because it doesn't end. Players can constantly make a level harder than this in OSU. Someone in Geometry Dash could make a top 1 level that's extremely hard, and someone in OSU could match that with a level that's like 10 times harder, because they can create the level and they can create their own difficulty for the level. That's the problem here. Do you see the problem? Oh god, dogs. Which means you can't really determine what game is harder. But I know that's not what anyone actually wants to hear. You're probably thinking like, oh my god, it's nerd, I'm actually about to click off in 3, 2, 1. So I guess I'm gonna satisfy your pervertory needs like at least a little bit and try to look at some points here. Again, as I said, some people use the argument that Geometry Dash, you just click there, man, it's not hard at all. Which is true, but then again, I use the argument that, well, yeah, it's a clicking game, but at the same time, you have to make way more complex click timings than in OSU. So sure, you may have to be athletic to use your like hand and move it, because a lot of OSU players use a graphics tablet, which surprise surprise, you have to use your hand to use a graphics tablet, and that involves moving it. But I'm sure a lot of OSU players have a lot of experience with their right arm, unfortunately. So the conclusion here should be that OSU players are more athletic, I guess, if you count that as athleticism. Yes, anything is athleticism. You're a sportman, you're a world champion, and being a sportman, that's not even a job. Sportman is not a thing. You took my pants. Give me back my pants. Oh my god, you're actually just gonna let your dogs do the work. On the other hand, in Geometry Dash, you also have to do way more complex timing with clicks. What I mean by that is Geometry Dash has multiple game modes. You see, OSU doesn't have like game modes. You just move your mouse and click the things. You can like count like the moving target thing as like a game mode where you have to like slide your arm or mouse along the thing, but I wouldn't count that, you know, it's not really a game mode. On the other hand, Geometry Dash has like 10 game modes, but all with like completely different, or like at least like different to some extent, mechanics that you all not only have to learn and master if you want to beat the hardest levels, but in all of them you also just have to like click completely differently, if you don't know what I mean. Like, what, that ship is not supposed to have that much explosive power. What is life, like 15 megatons? You see, in the ship you have to like hold more, like timings are more complex. Ball just switches gravity. UFO, you do like 1 bounce in the air. Cube, you do this, you did that. So in that aspect of game modes, I guess Geometry Dash is harder, you could argue, but at the same time, you gotta move your hand, man. You gotta move your hand. I'm gonna be annoying. I'm sorry, man. I'm so sorry. I was so mean of me. I hate people who do that. I'm becoming just evil. That guy really tried. That guy really fought, huh? And no, oh, he made the devil's deal thing. He made a deal with the devil. I understand why he was so keen on trying to kill me. He had like 60 seconds to do so, or else he would also die painfully. Now the thing here is that might make you like completely disregard my opinion is that I've played Geometry Dash. I haven't played OSU. One of the reasons is because I already know how to play Geometry Dash, and I like don't really want to learn how to play OSU, since it's again the mechanics are kind of different. That's another reason why you can't like really completely compare them side to side. But you can trust me, I do not have like a love for Geometry Dash. Alright, I have attempted some demon levels. I can assure you I have have a hate for the game now. Now you could say, well, you can compare the game difficulties by taking a level from each game that is rated this difficulty by the community, and based on which one is harder, Geometry Dash or OSU, you can determine which game is harder. Well, that argument could work, except the fact that the difficulty is determined by the players. Personally, I've seen many Geometry Dash players just like rate a level completely wrong. Okay, I just exploded in a nuke. And the same could be about OSU. If there was a robot that could like determine the difficulty of a level, it still couldn't do it. I'll get back to that later, but the point is, these are determined by people. That's still on personal opinion. There's a level of bias to that. And if it was done on a robot, it would need to have like some sort of difficulty factor to rate it on, and what is there to compare? Those are pretty different games. That's like rating pizza and a brick on terms of taste. Like, obviously the brick is gonna win. But that's because you did it on a factor of taste. If you did it on a factor of building, the pizza will win. It's supposed to be reversed if you're stupid. And that's the problem again. Those are different games. Again, it's trying to, another example, I love my analogies. It's like trying to compare game like Undertale, CSGO. I guess you could say like, well, I like this game more, but again, that's personal opinion. And then if you actually like try to rate it in terms of like something, what something is there to rate it on terms of difficulty, well, that doesn't work, because Overwatch is a shooter game. It doesn't really have a set difficulty. It's just based on which lobby you are in. I have no clue how I got Overwatch. It's meant to be CSGO. Just ignore it. It's the point that is this shooter game. Skill, I guess you need more skill for Overwatch, but again, it's a first-person shooter game, and Undertale's a story game. It's just non-comparable. Now I know it might be a little different, because technically Geometry Dash and OSU are like kind of similar games. They're both timing based, but as I said again, those timings, they're completely different, man. They're not something you can compare. Are you gonna attack me, or are you just like waiting there? Are you waiting for something like to happen? But if you truly want my opinion, I would say Geometry Dash is like maybe harder, just because there's more variety to like the game modes and such, but you can't really compare it. Again, they're both timing based, and well, timings are endless. Also, I played the game Geometry Dash, and I like Geometry Dash kinda, so you can't really ask me for advice, you know, because I have bias that I can't avoid. I can't just go like, oh, from this point on I have no bias. I gave up bias, man. I turned to God. Oh, come on. Nuclear launch? Seriously? That just happens to me, I guess. I actually won a game for once. Thanks for, being OSU or Geometry. I don't really care, you know? Just make your opinion as long as you subscribe. Bye.